Evening, ladies and gents. Evening. So, Mike Hunt, I do hate reaction drama. No drama. I'm not your average individual that just screams and wails about things. Please. Please, please, please. No misrepresentation. I thought we would just take a look at this and laugh more than anything. I'd hardly call that reactionary drama. I like making some sort of comedic stabs at these people rather than wailing like a child. But yeah, no, please. Please, please, please don't. So, what am I drinking? So, we'll get down to the meat of the topic shortly, just whilst most people sort of drop in anyway. This is just a Red Bush tea, or Rooibos, I think that's how it's pronounced. Something like that anyway. Thought we'd have something nice and warm to drop in with this. This is an interesting topic, I think, personally. It makes for an interesting topic of a live stream. I did say, like I wanted to do during the new year, was to bring some topics to these streams. And one which has progressed, which you've probably seen some videos on before it progressed, was this Jon Stewart versus JK Rowling situation. So it has actually moved forward. So you would have probably seen Jon Stewart did his little show on Apple TV or whatever it is, basically saying, hey, JK Rowling, your depiction of goblins, all I saw was Jewish people, which... and that says a lot about Jon Stewart, which we'll get to who Jon Stewart is if you're not aware, because he's not actually famous outside of the States. So goes to show how insular and sort of myopic, I guess, some of the individuals that people in the States consider to be hugely famous, because he's nothing outside of the States. But yeah, he, like I said, it says a lot about Jon Stewart saying, oh, I saw goblins in a fictional bank, and all I saw was Jewish people. Like, wow. That's saying something. But anyway, he's now come out and said that he did not categorically, you're all being silly. You're all silly, silly, silly sausages. How can you possibly think that he said JK Rowling, or even hint that JK Rowling was anti-Semitic? Because, of course he would say that. Because she could sue him. You fucking ingrate. You utter moron. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Whilst you're here just dropping in, please do hit that like button. And if you want to join in the conversation at any point, please do. But please note, to get your questions sort of pointed out more immediately, it would be a super chat, because I'm going to be turning and throwing with topics and things. So yeah. So Jon Stewart, famous stateside comedian, presenter, did the Daily Show, I think it was, on Comedy Central. He's done some movies, done a producer, things like this. But he's a nobody out of the States. Like he is nothing. He is a nobody outside of the States. So a lot of people, will not know who he is. Halifax Redemption, I like your channel, but he's far from a moron. I'm not going to get into a debate. You can disagree all you like, but if anyone sits there and looks at goblins and thinks that they're Jewish people, you're a fucking idiot. So, yeah, there's no debating it. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in the debate. So, yeah, let's. There's a turbo car driving past my house. Right. So let's take a look at this very specific thing. JMB officials just dropping in real quick and says, just sending in a few bucks to show support and keep up the hard work, mate. Also been up for like 6 hours rewriting the entire DCE universe. And I'm up to phase 3. And I'd love to get your thoughts on it if I email you. Jesus. That is That is some, yeah. That is some dedication. Yeah, I mean, I could try to have a look at it for sure. Absolutely. So, ladies and gents, what are we talking about? This is what we're talking about. Not that. This. Here we go. Right. Let me just sort that out there. So, Jon Stewart calls out JK Rowling's anti-Semitic goblins in the Harry Potter franchise. Nope. I am not joking. This is something that happened. So let me just shrink this down. Just bring this down a little bit so I can actually see the chat. Otherwise, I will not be able to reply to anyone, unfortunately. So, let's have a look. A December 2021 episode of Jon Stewart's The Problem with Jon Stewart podcast is making headlines for the host's takedown of JK Rowling's depiction of goblins in the author's Harry Potter franchise. Now, I think it's actually really important to note that although JK Rowling has all movie rights, like she controls it, she has the rights, she didn't direct the movies, and she wasn't in charge, creatively speaking, on a day-to-day basis on how things were made. So that's important to note. And the way they look in general is pretty much what most goblins look like across the board. And it's funny because there's other creatures in her universe which equally look exactly the same. They just don't control money. So I think it's quite comical because it says a lot about the people projecting onto the imagery what they view it as, rather than the imagery itself, if that makes sense. So anyway, in the Harry Potter universe, goblins work at and run the Gringotts Bank. Stewart drew a comparison between the goblins depicted on screen in the Harry Potter films and the anti-Semitic illustrations featured in the 1903 book, The Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Well, he only actually showed one image. FYI, only one image, very specifically. And this is what he said, right? Here's how you know Jews are still where they are, Stewart said on the podcast episode. Talking to people, here's what I say. Have you ever seen a Harry Potter movie? Have you ever seen the scenes in Gringotts Bank? Do you know what those folks who run the bank are? Jews. And they're like, oh, that is from Harry Potter. And you're like, no, that's a caricature of a Jew from an anti-Semitic piece of literature. JK Rowling was like, can we get these guys to run our bank? It's a wizarding world. We can ride dragons. You can have a pet owl. But who should run the bank? Jews. But what if the teeth were sharper? I mean, what an absolutely moronic, and I stand by that comment, what an absolutely moronic statement. And to sit there and say, oh, we'll get to his backtracking at the moment, because people are like, oh, he said it was a joke. Yeah, he would, because JK Rowling has more money than him and can sue him into oblivion. Don't you understand that? He's literally saying, and you know, for a light-hearted joke, he'd done a good amount of research on it, because he'd even had a printed off piece of paper to say, hey, here's what they look like. It's not a light-hearted joke. Light-hearted jokes are in passing, you know? Someone would say something quite funny in the chat, and I would say, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's a light-hearted quip. Quick. A light-hearted joke, you know, doesn't take as much preparation as what he did. Right? That's not a light-hearted joke to be prepped that much. So, yeah, no. Also, coincidentally, Dobby the house elf looks exactly like the goblins. Just doesn't have sharp teeth. So, doesn't really stand up that much, does it? But remember, ladies and gents, this is just a light-hearted joke, and this light-hearted joke continues. Remember, it's just a light-hearted joke, ladies and gents. It's just such a joke. It was one of those things where I saw it on the screen and I was expecting the crowd to be like, holy shit, Rowling did not in a wizarding world. Just throw Jews in there to run the effing underground bank, Stewart added. And everybody was like, wizards. It was so weird. Yeah. It's not a light-hearted joke. Not at all. Light-hearted jokes are quick. Super, super quick. Chris drops in, says they're just goblins. He's just being a troll. Well, he's being an idiot. He's being an idiot. And this is not the first time. Like, he's come out and said things about, like, was it like Venezuela and things like that, saying, oh, that's not real socialism. That's just, like, let's not. Come on. So anyway, I think this says a lot more about this individual more than anything else. I think there's also there really is a discussion to be had, right? Like, so his comment here. Here's how you know Jews are still where they are, right? Now, this is an interesting dynamic here, saying, oh, here's how you know Jews are still where they are. So, anti-Semitic attacks have 100% gone up. Actually, they absolutely have gone up. That's something which you can't. You can't argue with. You can't, like, the facts, the data indicates it's 100% gone up. But I posit to you guys that it's not actually things like that makes people attack Jews. I don't think you're going to sit there and look at a Goblin and a Harry Potter movie and go, that's it, I'm going to go and attack a Jewish person. Yes, 100%. It could be the normalization of anti-Semitic behaviour and language from, especially in the UK. I mean, Labour is well renowned for that, so left-leaning sort of groups anyway. Chris Raposo says 2022 is becoming a banger year already, isn't it? I'm already tired of it. These people are insane. I was asleep before this. So I'm having a tea. Just thought I'd wake myself up a little bit. Oh wow. Oh, that's not really a tea. There's no caffeine. But no, so he is right that anti-Semitism is on the rise, because it is. Like, it is 100% on the rise. But it's got nothing to do with that. And again, people going, oh, it's just a light-hearted joke. Please, it's not. You don't sit there and print stuff off. But like I said, he has, as individuals seem to be running their mouth about, he has come out and he has gone, no, I don't think JK Rowling is anti-Semitic. What are you talking about? That's because he could get sued into oblivion. Don't you understand? Please, engage. Engage this. Engage this. JK Rowling is so ridiculously wealthy, she essentially lives in a castle. She could sue Jon Stewart into oblivion for calling her anti-Semitic. And also the fact that everyone turned her... So the massive backtrack on this commentary here, no, not smart. Not, come on. To say that, oh, it's just a joke. No, that's literally because he could be sued into oblivion. It's really important. Yeah, I mean, you can all listen to it. It's always around. I'm not hiding anything. Go Google it for yourself. It's pretty obvious that he wasn't joking. Like the inflection, the context behind it. So anyway, let's take a look at this. Because this is where we're at as a society, right? This is where we're at as a society. Jon Stewart took to social media to correct a viral news story about his feelings toward the depiction of goblins. Right, on JK Rowling, obviously. And this is what he says, right? This is what he says. I do not think JK Rowling is anti-Semitic. I did not accuse her of being anti-Semitic. Okay, you literally said, and I quote, here's how you know Jews are still where they are. Talking to people, here's what I say. Have you ever seen a Harry Potter movie? Have you ever seen the scenes in Gringotts Bank? Do you know what those folks who run the bank are? Jews. And then he pulls out the Elders of Zion book. And he goes, oh, that's an illustration from Harry Potter. No, that's a caricature of a Jew from an anti-Semitic piece of literature. And JK Rowling was like, can we get these guys to run our bank? But who should run the bank? Jews. directly from an anti-Semitic piece of literature. That is some epic backtracking right there, Jon Stewart. I mean, you're doing some mental gymnastics to really do that. Like, you really are. You did accuse her of being. I mean, you didn't accuse her directly. You were smart about it. But I mean, it's literally all there, and your lawyer, your attorney, probably came to you and said, "Look, mate, you should probably backtrack this a little bit. She's got more money than you. Like, sort it out. Come on. Like, that's pretty harsh stuff." I mean, it's pretty blatant. If you can't, I mean, I'm directly quoting the words here, and his now current statement. If you can't see that he's obviously drawing a comparison between anti-Semitic literature and what the mindset behind her, including them in Gringotts Bank, it's very, very clear. Like, it's near crystal clear at this point in time. Mike Hunt drops in and says, I think when Chris Soup chatted about John being a troll, it was a joke about Harry Potter troll. Huh? Yeah, maybe. Anyway, so let's have a look again, because this is massive backtracking. And again, it's very, very comical. So I don't think JK Rowling is anti-Semitic. I did not accuse her of being anti-Semitic. I do not think the Harry Potter movies are anti-Semitic. You literally said... It was one of those things where I saw it on screen and I was expecting the crowd to be like, holy shit, Rowling did not, in a wizarding world, just throw Jews in there to run the effing underground bank. No, I don't think Rowling's anti-Semitic, and I don't accuse her of being anti-Semitic. I don't think the Harry Potter movies are anti-Semitic. I really love the Harry Potter movies. Probably too much for a gentleman of my considerable age. That's some big gymnastics you're doing there. Some big gymnastics you're doing there, mate. Oh! Come on. Who's believing this? I mean, some people are, because there's some people in the chat that believe in this. But anyway, so remember, he's absolutely been told to say this by an attorney. I cannot stress this enough. I'm not accusing JK Rowling of being anti-Semitic. You fucking did. I mean, you drew comparisons to the Elders of Zion. You basically said that she turned around, JK Rowling was like, can we get these guys to run our bank? Let's just put Jews in there, but with sharper teeth. You did. You basically, come on. Who's, come on, really? Which is probably the most moronic thing ever. And like, let's play devil's advocate and just say like it is a joke, right? Let's just say it is a joke. It's probably the worst joke you could do anyway. Because if it is a joke, she didn't have creative... She wasn't there day to day running the movie. She didn't direct the movie. She didn't... There's no like illustrations in the books about these things. She just wrote a book. And goblins are pretty universal in what they look like. Goblins normally look the same in most fantasy literature. They basically look the same. So she wasn't... come on. Like, that's real... Are you going to say that the director's part of it now as well? Please. Anyway, so he says, and again, remember, through his attorney speaking through him, I cannot stress this enough. I'm not accusing JK Rowling of being anti-Semitic. She need not answer to any of it. I mean, I bet you'd love her to answer to it, because then you'd get a bit more traction. Remember, this individual's not famous outside the States, just as a heads up. He's literally a nobody outside the States. I don't want the Harry Potter movie censored in any way. It was a light-hearted conversation. Get an effing grip. Light-hearted conversation where you printed out material from an anti-Semitic book from 1903. That's, like, when I have light-hearted conversations with my mates, ladies and gents, I don't sit there and print out... I'm not presenting it, you know. I don't have... There's no handouts for my light-hearted conversations. I don't sit there printing out additional reading materials for my light-hearted conversations with my mates. What a fucking loser. Who the hell is believing this? Like, really? Who's believing that? Oh, it was just a light-hearted conversation that he literally took the time to print out additional reader materials for everyone to take a good look at. Just a light-hearted bit of banter with mates. My light-hearted bit of banter with mates is, you know, I don't know, what fucking sexual activities, or I don't know, how much I can drink, or just normal random shit. I don't sit there and print out stuff and then go, oh, here you go. There's my light-hearted conversation. Oh my god. So anyway, let's have a look. Get an effing grip. Well, no, I think you should get a grip, Jon Stewart, mate. And get a grip yourself. Anyway, so Stewart clarified that his original discussion about the Harry Potter goblins was a light-hearted conversation amongst colleagues and chums that he literally printed off additional reader material for. If you believe that, you're an idiot. About what it was like first watching the Harry Potter movies as a Jewish man, Stewart brought up the look of the goblins to talk about how some tropes are so embedded in society that they're basically invisible, even in a considered process like movie making. Or it could just be that the look of a goblin is universally ingrained in fantasy, and no one, you know, when you're talking about like mountain goblins and things like that, no one sits there like, I don't know, like let's take like Lord of the Rings for instance. Like there's the Goblin King and things like that, right? No one sits there and goes, you know that creature, that massively fat creature that lives in that mountain, that, you know, that cave hole thing. It's a Jew. No one sat there thinking that, mate. But that's a goblin. I mean, looks pretty similar. Near universal. It's the same as this orc conversation. People are like, orcs are racist because they're black. What? Orcs are black people, apparently, according to some dipshits on the internet. Yeah, of course they are. 100%. It's such nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So anyway, on the December podcast episode, Stewart said, here's how you know Jews are still where they are. Talking to people, here's what I have to say. Have you ever seen a Harry Potter movie? Have you ever seen the scenes in Gringotts Bank? Blah, blah, blah. Like, we've been over this. Remember, he printed out. He literally printed it all out. Additional reader materials for you all. But it's not just that. This has obviously started a whole pile of nonsense online. The Jerusalem Post. The TV show host and political commentator points out Rowling's use of anti-Semitic caricatures. And again, remember, this is why. Like, I don't think he realised this would probably take off as much as it has. And he's realising that, you know, you can get massively sued for this. Like, you can't just go around branding people anti-Semitic. You can't. And he could get sued. It's really important to note. Like, it really is. Yeah. Really, really important to note. So could he get sued for this? Yeah. Is this probably why he's doing it? Yeah. So Jon Stewart breaks Hollywood's silence on anti-Semitism in Harry Potter. Fuck me, I can't speak. So remember, ladies and gents, this is it's like an unwritten rule, you know? Loads of people are just like, oh, Harry Potter's massively anti-Semitic and no one's bothered to talk about it. Now they only spoke about it in hushed circles. You mean Hollywood that, like, is famously, like, populated by majority of Jewish people? Really? Yes, that's right, ladies and gents. Hollywood is massively anti-Semitic. Really? Are we talking about the same Hollywood here? You shit stain, Jon Stewart. Are we talking about the same Hollywood? Is this the same Hollywood? Really? All right then. Apparently it is, ladies and gents. Apparently this is the same Hollywood. So anyway, Jon Stewart recently pointed out how JK Rowling based the banker goblin characters who run the fictional Gringotts Wizarding Bank in the Harry Potter franchise on anti-Semitic caricatures of Jews from the Protocols of Elder Zion. An anti-Semitic piece of literature. Again, this is the thing. Now, I've got this Twitter thread up as well, which we'll take a look at because this is pretty funny. But just, again, how people are reacting to this is very, 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 very funny. Larry L drops in with $2 Canadian. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And it says, good evening, Miss H and everyone in the chat. Thank you so much. Project's done poorly. Sent shot over $5. Thank you so much. And says, this feels like Hollywood hates JK Rowling because Twitter hates her, so let's make up some BS about it. Yeah, basically. So no, Stewart references conversations he's had with people about Rowling's Harry Potter films, where he explains that while the Goblin's resemblance to anti-Semitic caricatures is obvious, people can't seem to see it or rarely come to this realization. That's because, like, do I really have to explain this? Like, people can't seem to see it or rarely come to this realization. Isn't that a good thing that people aren't coming to that realization? Because it goes to show that people don't think back in, 1903 terms of Jewish caricatures. Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that progress? People don't link the two. I mean, surely that's a good thing? No? Jerusalem Post, I'd say that's a pretty good thing, to be honest. But no, apparently not. Apparently we need to always be completely aware of that. That's super important. But yeah, no, apparently not. Stewart also notes that Harry Potter is a wizard where people can ride dragons, blah, 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 yet somehow Rowling chose Jews to run the bank. So what about Dobby the house elf that looks strikingly similar, is actually a little bit shorter, has the same long nose, same long ears, but just wears, like a pillowcase? Like, is it literally just because they run banks? Are you that you're that insecure? Really? Oh, goodness me. So there's not a, this is basically that, but then we come to this, right? So this, let me scroll this down a little bit. So this conversation thread is fascinating stuff, and it really is. So Jon Stewart recently broke Hollywood's complete silence on JK Rowling's unapologetically maintaining anti-Semitic folklore through Harry Potter. Or fantasy. It could just be fantasy stuff. Like, ladies and gents, it could literally just be fantasy. Ingrained fantasy stuff. No one? Right, okay. Alright then. The scene Jon Stewart is referencing was shared by me in 2018. This is from Raf on Twitter. When Rowling was smearing the left as anti-Semites. They are famously anti-Semitic. Like, famously so. When Rowling was smearing the left as anti-Semites and only beginning to embrace her infamous anti-trans views. She's never been anti-trans. She's just been for female-only spaces, dipshit. Which is demonstrably evidence, then it's absolutely fine. Like, there's no... Come on. Harry walks over a bank adorned with Jewish stars to greedy goblins' side locks. And she was not creatively involved in that specific process. So that doesn't... That's not good. It's not a good comparison. You can't say she's to blame for that. There was a director. There was a set designer. There was a set manager. There was an art department. There were people approving it. And it's Hollywood. So, again, I hate to draw the comparison, but they were probably, Hollywood is famously majority, Jewish. So, I mean, they seem to think it was fine. But no, apparently no, that's not allowed. What? Daniel Palomo says he does realise Harry Potter is a fictional book with imaginary creatures, right? Yeah, apparently these people don't anymore. They have absolutely no idea. So anyway, it continues. And again, remember, people are guilty by association now. Again, remember, ladies and gents, this guilt by association is pretty common these days. So if you'd like to see how YouTube users respond to clips of JK Rowling's bank scenes, they're dominated by anti-Semites lavishing praise on JK Rowling. Right, of course, there you go. Ladies and gents, YouTube users. That's the reason why JK Rowling's anti-Semitic. There you go. Because it's YouTube users. They're guilty by association. Didn't you know? Guilty by association. There you go. Of course. Guilty by association. Of course it is. Absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And he continues this absolutely laughable tirade. In total fairness, Goblin mythology as anti-Semitic tropes predates all of us, including JK Rowling, but across Harry Potter novels, JK uses her freedom to reinvent almost anything. But as Jon Stewart points out, the anti-Semitic tropes maintained. Because they've got big ears, big noses, and they work at a bank. Are we saying this is exactly the same with respect to Dobby the house elf then? Or is it because he's called an elf that's different? I mean, he looks basically the bloody same, doesn't he? He just doesn't have sharp teeth. Come on. Clutching at straws. Donald Smead says, here in the States there is a concerted effort to push the narrative of extreme bigotry to try and distract from our terrible political leadership. Yeah, I mean, it's just all such a smokescreen. But I thought this would make for a very funny topic, really, to start the stream off before we just go into normal kind of chinwaggy stuff. If you didn't know, ladies and gents, because we've got a little bit more people here than what we would normally do. We've got like 350 people. Please do hit that thumbs up button. Would be good if you did. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will be doing more topics. Not necessarily like this, by the way. I just thought this was a fun topic to take a look at because it is just funny. But please do, join in these live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 p.m. GMT time. So yeah, please do, please do. And good, thank you for hitting that thumbs up button. That really helps out. So again, remember, continues. So because JK Rowling chose to maintain fantasy tropes, again, this is because something that this individual points out, is she's anti-Semitic, allegedly. Later in the Harry Potter series, they remove the side locks from the goblins and the Jewish stars from the bank, which pre-existed in London's High Commission of Australia building. And they're not part of the new theme park in London, but the side locks remain. Right, okay. So, JK Rowling is definitely anti-trans and a hateful, petty person. That is an incredibly finite statement. She is definitely anti-trans. By what definition and terminology? Because she believes that like women should have women-only spaces and things like this. I don't think that means you're anti-trans. Like, I think that's a really simplistic way of looking at it. And I also think the whole trans and sort of female discussion about spaces is quite complex, and there's a little bit of a nuance to be had there. You can't just go, no, anti-trans. That's a childlike approach to it all. But, I can't expect any more from this person that thinks that goblins in Harry Potter are Jews, apparently. So, it is what it is. As far as I know, she's not an anti-Semite. Well, I mean, mate, you went as far enough to call her anti-trans, but I guess you can't call her an anti-Semite because she could probably sue you into oblivion, remember? So it's a fine line, isn't it? Again, remember these people are being quite careful about their wording here. Mike Hunt says, Sirius Black, obviously Jewish. Azkaban is Auschwitz. Slytherin, all Aryan. No, they're not all blonde. You're talking about just the Malfoys. Just the Malfoys are blonde. Jazzy H says, sorry to digress. Do you have a narration book on Audible? No, I don't. The Hellbound Heart is literally on YouTube. Why are you asking if it's on Audible? Chris drops in. Supporting the channel, keeping the lights on for £5. Says maybe he's just getting attention for his new show. Quick check on Wikipedia for producer David Heyman. Seems odd thing to accuse her of. Yeah, and I 100%. I mean, it's all just just trying to push some ridiculous narrative. Again, it's all for clicks. And the moment he realised, someone sat there and went, "Oh yeah, mate, you could probably get sued for this," he was like, "Oh shit. Let me come out and say, oh, it's just a gag, guys. It's just a big joke, that I printed off extra curricular material for. It's not a light-hearted conversation. It wasn't just in passing, you dickhead. You literally had to sit down and print stuff off to make your light-hearted joke. That's not a joke, you utter tit. But anyway, continue further with this. However, this was perpetuating anti-Semitism, and she did so while attacking others as anti-Semites on our behalf while demonstrating zero knowledge of it. She didn't direct the movies, dickhead. Are you really that stupid? Raf, mate, I hate to break it to you. Raf. She didn't direct the movies. She didn't direct them. They could have changed it. They could have done anything. She did. Come on. Don't give her that much credit. She's not a film director. She's a writer. So, I used to be as shocked as Jon Stewart at how little there was in response to the anti-Semitic aspects of Harry Potter, but recently learning Mel Gibson's booked in Hollywood for years as an unapologetic Nazi, learned my standards are too high. Right, okay. Right, yeah. What sparked this thread on anti-Semitism in Harry Potter was yet another issue around JK Rowling's choices. Character names, especially those who are not English, namely Cho Chang for the Asian and a slave-derived name for the black character. What about Dobby? Dobby the house elf. Is that a black-derived slave name? Dobby? What about Seamus, the guy who blows up a bridge? You know? Any American want to comment on that? Because remember, this sort of bigoted nonsense look at the world is quite myopic from Americans. You're going to comment on the Seamus? No, you're not going to comment on Seamus? No, of course not. Because you don't know anything about that, do you dipshit? Project's Done Poorly says, and another question, why bring this up now? Harry Potter's like 20 years old. I bet John liked it before. Of course he did. Because he just wants some money. He just wants people to look at his shitbox podcast. And a lesson that keeps surfing. Oh, remember, ladies and gents, like, and it's literally just a statement of fact. Hollywood is predominantly majority Jewish people. Like, it just is. It just is. Like, you can't sit there and say, that Hollywood's so anti-Semitic when most of the major producers are Jewish. Like, how are you going to tell me that is what? Really? Yes, the majority of them are all, like, really, yeah, they're all Semite. They're all anti-Semites, are they? You fucking idiots. And a lesson that keeps surfacing in all of this is that very few heard black and brown people raise flags about casting first. And those who raised the vilification... What? And those who raised the vilification of fat people, which almost always is the front door to so much more later on. Are we now moving this into the body positive movement as well? Oh my god. You are funny. You are funny. Body positive movement. Yeah, because fat people so bad. Oh my Jesus. Oh, good lord. It's got to be, isn't it? Yeah, making fun of fat people is a gateway to mass racism and bigotry. Of course it is. Smoke Monster says JK Rowling is uncancelable. She's too popular. She's too rich as well. You can't cancel someone that rich. Like, she makes too much money for people. Oh, this hurts my head. Anyway, this human fucking polo mint here, Pete Davidson, is... Yeah, because we need to comment on him again. Yeah, Beetlejuice character. Guy out of fucking Edward Scissorhands. I saw a very, very funny meme, actually, the other day about women who claim men will sleep with anything. Yeah? Why so many women keep sleeping with this fucking thing, then? Jesus. Right, anyway. Right, just a side note. Raf. It's true that most writers aren't influential on sets of movies, but JK's a screenwriter plus billionaire who's present and able to force studios to keep scenes she chose. Yeah, but do you know whether she did? Because to make such accusations quite precarious. Even in a spin-off, her contract gives her unprecedented powers as a writer. Yeah, of course it does. Because she was smart. As far as cancel culture, it would be cool if it was simply not ignored and repaired in the future. That's right, ladies and gents. We've got to repair it. The damage. We've got to fix it up. Let's get some super glue out. Idiots. Larry L says, I'm so sick of these poser Hollywood tossers. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely 100%. Fuck sake. Oh my god. So it's got to be repaired in the future. It'd be cool if this lesson could also extend to trans and GNC. GNC people? Are we GNC? Is this the new race of like fitness-minded people that go to them protein powder stores? GNCs. Am I part of the? I'm part of the GNC people, ladies and gents. Yes, representation, GNC people. What the fuck is a GNC person? What's GNC people? Why do people keep making up acronyms? What is going on? What's a GNC person? What's this? What's a GNC person? Anyway, shit. It'd be cool if this lesson could also extend to trans and GNC people she routinely endangers. I'm being endangered by eating too much protein. I'm being endangered because of JK Rowling. Me and my GNC people. I should just put that in my bio. Pronoun GNC. And for those that don't know, GNC is a fitness supplement store. This is why I'm a bit confused with what the fuck a GNC person is. What the fuck is a GNC person? What is a GNC? Anyway, whatever. As well as black, Asian, and other people her writings have taken swipes at. Is there literally, according to this person, there is no one that JK Rowling hasn't attacked with her writing. She's attacked everyone. You might as well just say she's attacked feminists at this point. You know, she's just attacking everyone, children, you know, literally just everyone. Everyone. Ridiculous. What the fuck is a GNC person? Some recurring criticism of this thread is that I was too kind to Rowling in assuming goblins were largely depicted as anti-Semitic characters long before our generations. I think it's a really fair question and would love to learn more. Yeah, and then there's just all this other kind of crap. And then, but someone accurately points out, yeah, the idea that they put in Jewish stars into the floor and it's attributed to JK's ridiculous, the blame lies with the director and location scout. This scene was filmed in the Australian High Commission building in London, and here's a picture of the floor. It wasn't added. This is the actual floor of the building that they filmed it in. But remember, ladies and gents, anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism. Again, Australian High Commission building in London literally has a star in the floor. But that's right, it must be anti-Semitism. It must be. 100%. And again, someone accurately points out, where are the stars in this scene? Why is the focus on the movie and not her descriptions of these characters from the books? For the first movie, she doesn't have a screenwriting nor producing credit. How do you pin the visual portrayal on her without going to the books? Precisely. 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 I mean, really? Really? Anyway, I thought this would be utterly hilarious. But remember, ladies and gents, it's just a gag. He's just joking around. You know, it's just a light-hearted conversation with mates. It's just a light-hearted conversation amongst colleagues and chums that you needed to print off extra material for. Just one of those light-hearted conversations. You know, we've all done them, haven't we? We've all had light-hearted conversations where we've gone to the printer and printed material off to show, haven't we? Have you not done that? No, you haven't pulled a projector out, and it wouldn't be a projector these days, would it? I don't know, like an LED screen and a massive iPad. Projectors back in the old days. You haven't made a whole project on it? No, light-hearted conversation between colleagues and chums. What an absolute dipshit. What's an absolute pain? Remember, ladies and gents, Jon Stewart. And remember, he's doing this. He's absolutely doing this because he's been told to by his attorney. Because JK Rowling could sue him into oblivion. Because as much as he's famous in the States, he's a nobody outside the States. And JK Rowling has much more money than him. Much more money. And would, you know, like happily probably sue him into oblivion. Because you can't really run around going, yeah, you're anti-Semitic. Like, you know, that's a pretty big slanderous claim. Chris, remake the second film with a flying Datsun 5. I love Datsun 510s, yes. JM says, Miss HW's public, light-hearted conversations come with consequences. It's a fact of life in the world of social media. Yeah, exactly. Donovan Bradford, pull a projector out, that boomer coming out. I know, god damn. Yeah, I realised how boomerish that was. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Remember, ladies and gents, Goblin. Doesn't matter that there's, you know, house elves in this and things like that that are, you know, they look equally exactly the same as these goblin things. You know, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about that. You know, pointy ears and big noses. Does not matter. They're only Jews because they're in charge of a bank, apparently. Let me know your thoughts. I thought this would make for an interesting discussion conversation. So that's a good hour topic. So if you're watching this back, and if you're watching this live now, just as an FYI, this is kind of where I'll stop the topic now. So if you're watching it back, cheers. You don't need to stay anymore. You can tune out. We're just going to hang out now. But if you are watching this live, we're just going to hang out now. So yeah, I'm going to talk to the stream a little bit more. But I just thought I would say that anyway. Make you all aware. Shane White, you've been a bit of a knob. Make my stream more interesting. That coat looks terrible on you. It's not a coat, it's a hoodie. What the fuck's it got to do with you what I wear, mate? Fuck off. I'll wear whatever I want, but who are you to demand to me what I wear? Fuck off. And if the stream's not interesting enough for you, piss off, leave. You don't need to be here, it's fine. What an absolute penis you're being. Right, anyway. Right, anyway, so do we have snow here? So anyway, FYI, ladies and gents, I will now actually be looking at the chat a little bit more. So, yeah, like Shane, do you want me to dress a bit more sexy for you? I can go put a thong on if you want. I'm sure I could find one from, you know, someone I fucked. Do you want, no, should I? No? Like, is that what you want? You want me to dress sexy for you? You little weirdo. Fuck's sake. Larry L, more pathetic Hollywood poser bollocks. Yeah, absolutely is. Am I conservative or a classical liberal? Classical liberal. Classical liberal. Damn, judge the wardrobe and don't even offer to get him something else. This is actually a really expensive hoodie. This is a Roots of Fight hoodie. Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee on the back. I love this hoodie. This is really expensive. Imported from Canada. Quite expensive for what it is. So, yeah, no. I'm good. If you don't like it, fuck yourself. Mixed Blood says also, Missed H, I think we've arrived at this lunacy because of ignoring the crazies, but the crazies have infiltrated everything and we pretty much have to call it out. 100%. I mean, look, you know, if you don't like these kind of streams, look, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. Like, you don't have to watch it. Like, it's not like I duped you into it. It literally says Jon Stewart versus JK Rowling and the Goblin nonsense. It's pretty clear what I'm talking about. Like, I understand that these streams are not for everyone, but I did say to people, and again, if you didn't watch it, that's on you, you know? It's literally on you. Like I said it in the New Year's and also the Christmas video that I put on the channel, the New Year's Eve message and also the Christmas Day message to everyone. I said things will be changing in the new year. I will be doing some more topical things because I want to talk about it. And again, if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Like, just don't self-censor. It's my channel. I do whatever the fuck I want on it. You know, like it's literally it is literally that simple. If you don't like it and you don't appreciate it, just leave. It's absolutely fine. So yeah, but yeah, no, I'm what you would I consider like a classical liberal, I guess. Lars says, received your shirts in time for Christmas. Great gift from me and my brother. Thanks. Epic. Good, man. Nice. Evil Alex, nice to have you on, dude. It's been a little while since you've been here, I think. I'm pretty certain it has. How are you and Jasper? How was your holidays? Yeah, it was okay. Could have been better, but it was okay. Not too bad anyway. Am I going to do more gym stuff? I've never done gym stuff on the channel. I did like some brief vlogs here and there probably about 4 years ago. Maybe 4.5 years ago or something like that. But I've got a second channel now, which is, sort of some... Well, it's like vlogs, but also car stuff. So cars is a massive passion of mine. So I've got a second channel, which, some gym stuff will eventually just appear on there. But that's in the description box. Check it out if you want. You don't have to. It's just there. But there won't ever be any gym stuff here on this channel. It's just not built for it. This is more, sit-down commentary sort of things. I don't want to do stuff like that here on this channel. It's just not what I want to do. I'm not interested in it. So yeah. JM says, Archive 81 by Netflix, thoughts, trailer is out. I didn't even know that was something. So my Twitter DMs are open, guys. If you see a trailer you want me to react to, that you want to, chuck over to my, for me to have a look at, please do. I'm over on Twitter at Missed Reviews. There's some things which I just, I don't have the chance to take a look at. Or I just don't hear about it. I didn't even hear that was a thing. So yeah, that's new to me. How's the cooking channel coming? Yeah, so that won't happen until I've moved. I will be setting up another channel, just like a cooking channel when I move. I'm not going to be doing that yet at all. Antonio says, maybe this is in a bio somewhere, but here's a go. How did you get introduced into Hellraiser franchise, and how did your interest grow from that point? I don't have any bio anywhere. There is no bio for me anywhere at all. How did I get introduced to Hellraiser? I have no idea. I watched that years and years and years ago, like when it first came out. I watched it, and yeah, I can't remember. Like, it was something which I was always aware of, even having watched it. And then I don't know really. It was just always something I was aware of. One of those movies that you're always. It's something. It's an obscure movie to be aware of, but I don't remember there being a specific thing that sort of kicked off the interest. So I was kind of always aware of it, and then just watched more and more of the movies kind of from there. Comics. The comics are great. I've done loads of read-throughs of the comics here on the channel actually. So yeah. So I mean that's kind of there's not much else really to go into with that. That's kind of just always aware of. It's not that much of an interesting tale, sadly. JT Mitchie says, Mr. H, I hope you told the kids you used to teach the same speech. Little blighters need a good role model who don't mince their words these days. No, you had to be quite difficult. That was still where things were sort of coming in, where you had to be quite careful with what you said. So yeah. Larry L says, what's your opinion on panel shows in the UK? Panel shows? How do you mean by panel shows? I don't watch any UK like TV specifically. I just have shows that I watch. So I don't watch any actual, I don't watch like game shows or I don't watch anything like that. I just watch shows with a purpose. And yeah, there's nothing on actual TV that I watch. So yeah. Chassis Factory, would you ever consider reading the original comics of Hellraiser on your channel? That would be badass. I have. What original comics, mate? I have read Hellraiser comics on the channel. So I don't know what ones you mean. Because I've done like there's like a 9 or 10 hours or something like that of Hellraiser comic read-throughs here on the channel. What would you mean by that? Let me see if I can find I think they're in their own playlist, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so there's 37. Um, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Yeah, there's a lot of hours. So here you go. Just if you do want to see it, here you go. There's the playlist of the Hellraiser read-throughs. Just chuck that in there for you. Have I read them all? Yeah, I don't know what ones you mean though, because there's a few different ones. So I didn't read the anthology stuff. I read some of the anthology stuff, but just check it out. I've left the playlist there. JMB official says, being into the third phase of my DCEU rewrite, I have so many cameos and so many fan service characters like Malefic, Desard, Metallo, Brainiac, and Manchester Black, Grodd, and many more. Nice. That must take some absolute dedication to do that, dude. Jesus, like some real dedication to be doing that. JM says Antlers was cool, but the monster seemed too weak in the final act. I agree. There definitely was some editing issues with. There was definitely some editing issues with Antlers. I think that they adjusted some bits and pieces. Yeah. Chris, Accio Jasper? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I've got no idea what that means. Genevieve Simmons. I got your email. I read that whilst I was gymming this morning. So I will reply to that. I've been a bit sort of, off my feet a little bit today. Unfortunately. Chris Manuelos, I think. Do you think that they will explain why the Green Goblin was much stronger in the new movie compared to the old one? No, I don't think that they will. To be honest, was he? Yeah, I guess he. No, he wasn't, because he was enhanced, wasn't it? That chemical was an enhancement of his power. He improved his. Yeah, no, I think that they explained that enough. Actually, if you go back and watch the original, in fairness, I think if you go back and watch the original, I think that they do explain it. Big K, I like you. So here's $50. That's right, 30 American greenbacks, $20 of my hard-earned money. Here you go, $10. I'm very confused with that. Thanks for the $5, Big K. Appreciate it, mate. Super odd. H, do you think that the Boom comics could be adapted for film? Maybe. I think that they could. I think that they could be adapted. Yeah, I think that they could be adapted. I don't think they ever will be. I think it would cost way too much money to do that. like way too much money. But yeah, I think that they could do it, but just the set pieces would be insane, absolutely insane. So yeah. Sahid, we need lore videos or readings and less Hollywood. No, I'll do whatever I want. I appreciate that some people like the lore stuff, but no one watches them. There's very few people that watch them, and I like doing this kind of stuff, so I'll just continue doing what I want to do here. I'm afraid. I know some people will disagree with that, but it is what it is. Napalm Sanctuary says, kind of off topic here, but when are you going to do a Warhammer 40,000 lore vid? I have a whole playlist of Warhammer 40,000, dude. Yeah, I literally have a whole playlist, dude, of Warhammer 40,000. It goes to show new people don't know, they don't go explore the videos. There you go. There's the playlist of all the Warhammer 40,000 stuff, dude. Go and check it out. Go and check it out. What comics would you like to see adapted to film? I would like The Darkness to be adapted to film. I think the Darkness is an interesting comic character. It could be good to adapt. Outside of that, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't think there's anything major that I think could sort of be adapted. Like Witchblade had like a weird adaptation as a TV series and things like that. It was garbage, but yeah, I think Darkness could be pretty cool. Yeah, I think the Darkness would be an interesting one. Yeah, people saying that they miss the lore videos. I'm happy to do them when it serves a purpose. Like when there's a movie coming out where you can talk about the lore of something. It all has to align properly, you know. Like you have to. If there's a movie coming out, you do lore surrounding the movie and the hype builds. If I just do a lore video randomly, no one's gonna watch it. No one does. I've done them recently. No one watches them, so there's no point doing them. It's when there's a movie coming out. Like when the Hellraiser stuff started dropping with respect to even just Dead by Daylight, like all my Hellraiser videos massively skyrocketed on like sort of back content just went up. So yeah, like it has to align with something else, because if you just release one, no, it's not going to happen. Bob Sav, I've blocked the person that took your identity. I don't want to address it, mate. So that's why I'm kind of ignoring your comments, because I would have thought it was pretty obvious what happened. Someone made the same name as you. I blocked them. I didn't block you. You're still here, so you're fine. I don't want to address it, because you address these things. These little cunts come out the woodwork more and more. So I'm trying not to address it, but you've made me address it. So come on. Other people have already responded to you as well. And said you're fine. You're fine. Calm down, dude. Calm down. There are reasons why I don't address certain things. There's just no point addressing it. It was pretty apparent you were fine. I didn't block you. I blocked the cunt that took your identity. But in terms of lore videos, just as an FYI, I will always do read-throughs. I'm thinking of trying to bring back, well, not bring back, but, you know, save like audiobooks for the weekend. So I always have one releasing on the weekend. Maybe not every single weekend, but, you know, at the weekend anyway. Mike Hunt, how did H make so many enemies? No, it's literally just one person. Yeah. It is literally just one person. It's just one absolute dipshit. Maurice Condran says, Mr. H, the Australian High Commission used the Gringotts, the floor star, is our Federation star for the Australian flag. Jon Stewart, foot in mouth. I know, he's such an idiot. I'm glad people realise that he's such a tit. Yeah, I'm so glad. Mike Hunt, Back to the Future 4, will it happen? So they've said that there will be no sequels or reboots or anything along those things until, like he said, like over his dead body, basically, the guy who owns it all. So I doubt it's going to ever happen. I doubt it's ever going to happen. Maybe, but I doubt it. Doubt it. Am I a fan of Shakespeare? No. Anyone would say they're a fan of Shakespeare, but no. Oh. Miss H, did you ever catch the show Fringe? No, I've never even heard of that, actually. I'm sorry that you didn't get my old Jewish grandpa joke. I did not, no. That went way over my head. Was that... What? Was that an old Jewish grandpa joke? What the fuck was that? I'm so confused. Super, super confused. Super confused with that. Aren't we all fans of Shakespeare by default? It's like saying you're not a fan of Toblerone. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's not bad. That's not bad. That is not bad. Thoughts on the Leprechaun movies with Warwick? They're fine. They're not like amazing. They're fine. They're like of that time, aren't they? Let's be honest. They're very much of that time. So yeah, nah. They're fine. They're absolutely fine. I will say actually doing a reading of Macbeth would be fun. But I'm in the minority there. Yeah, yeah, maybe. I don't think that would fly. Like I've done. What have I done? What's it called? Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. I've sort of. I'm not comparing that to Shakespeare. Well, I am a little bit, but I'm saying like I've broached into something like that before. But yeah. Cab 52, later dude, peace out. They sell Toblerone in British cinemas. I don't think so. I'm not sure. Do they? I don't think they do. Do I like the John Wick films? Yeah, I've done reviews of them. I think John Wick films are pretty decent, to be fair. Mike Hunt says, anyone looking for some great funny animation? Clark's the animated series made before Kevin Smith sold his soul. Episode 2 is a flashback episode. Oh, nice. There you go. No, I'm not. I'm not watching the Cobra Kai stuff. Loads of people keep asking about it. I've said it a few times now on streams. I'm not. Yeah, just not watching. Just not watching it. Corey Smith says the Darkness movie has been in development hell for years between Dimension Films, New Line Cinema, and Lionsgate with Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jackie. Really? I don't like that pick. I don't think he would be good in that role. In fairness, I didn't even know that was something which was in development. I had no idea. That's a shame. That's a massive shame. That is a huge, huge shame. Rolo, mate, no, just shut up. It doesn't matter that anyone stole your name. All right, I'm trying to correct it. You don't need to keep spamming the chat saying that someone stole your name. It's fine. All right, no one said anything bad. Just, it's fine. Why are you spamming it? No one cares. It's fine. No one's saying anything bad, are they? So just calm down. And I've tried to correct it now. I've put subscribers only. Fuck me. Jesus. Why do people persist in trying to like draw attention to things? Like, just let it slide. Come on. I'm looking forward to the Attack the Block sequel. I'm not actually, because I quite like that as a one and done. I thought that was quite good as like a, yep, just one, done, no more, just good as is. I can see the appeal of another one, but I think it was good as is, to be fair. You can also get a nice cheap... Chris, you can also get a nice cheap membership from Mr. H. Makes your name turn green and grants you partial immunity to trolls. Yeah, true. Yeah, that is true, actually. Yeah. Brian Quinn says, any reason for those of us who are fans of the Alien franchise to be hopeful these days? Anything good on the horizon? So there's some movement on that series, that TV series. I was going to do a video today on it, but I'll save that for tomorrow now. About him exploring the different companies that are working, in the universe and things like that. The sort of, competitor companies, alongside Wayne and Yutani and things. So it'll be interesting, I guess, to a certain degree. But no, that's a TV series. I guess that's something to be somewhat optimistic about. So I guess sort of hopeful. I don't know. The Darkness 2 is a pretty fun game. I never played the games. I just like the comics. I thought the comics were really good. Top Cow, I believe. Top Cow made some really, really cool. Comics back in the day. Thought they were pretty decent. Doggy treat money for my boy Jasper. Appreciate it. Thank you. The crazes are out again. Interesting, I turn on subscribers only and Rolo is no longer commenting. I would say he was probably a troll. That's funny. Oh, fucking people. So annoying. Why are people dipshits? I just don't understand. Like, why are people arseholes? I don't get it. Here's an open invite. Because I know you're watching. To the little retard troll. Because it's only one person that keeps frequenting these streams. Email me. mrhreviews@gmail.com. And we can have a good debate on a stream. Come on. Like, happily. Like, why not? Why not? You want to drop into these streams. Get your 15 minutes of fame. Come on an actual stream. And have a conversation. mrhreviews@gmail.com. Email me. Have a conversation with me. Because I know the stupid little troll cunt is still watching. So please do. It's pretty simple. But if not, why do you keep coming back? I just don't understand. It's so weird. So strange. Okay, well, Rolo is still here. Good. Well, you sort of disappeared, and you were pretty persistent before. So you'll have to forgive me for, for that. Larry L says, I wonder what it would be like to have a 60s inspired Spider-Man film made. Who would be cast for it and who would be the villains for it? Ooh. I have no idea. That'd be a new one to me to even consider that. To be fair, a 60s inspired Spider-Man film. 60s inspired or just in the 60s? I have no idea. Who would the villains be for it? If it's 60s inspired, probably Rhino would be funny. But then you're sort of becoming a parody, aren't you? Richard Curtis says, have you watched any good Mythical Morning YouTube channel? Nope, don't even know what it is. American food-based channel. Nope. I've never even heard of it. I'll check it out. I shall check it out. Napalm Sanctuary says, for addressing my question on the Warhammer 40k lore vote, thank you. Yeah, no, it's alright, dude. I don't think people realised. I don't think people realised that I even had that playlist. But yeah, I've got it there. Um, Kyle says, Miss H, your disappointment expression always makes me laugh. Tell him to jog on. Oh, set in the 60s? I don't know. So set in the 60s but modern day, so it would be a sort of a parody then, wouldn't it? Rhino would definitely be the villain, because I think that's funny, sort of parody-esque. I think that could be quite good. Outside of that, I don't know really. I wouldn't know what to say. Yeah, I wouldn't know. Was it the Chameleon? I used to really like the Chameleon. Thought the Chameleon was a really kick-ass villain back in the day. I really liked the Chameleon, especially from the original, not the original, but the old animated series, Spider-Man the animated series. The Chameleon was great. Absolutely loved it. Did I like the Blade films? Yeah, they're okay. Like, they're sort of... It's a bit like Pitch Black. If you watch Pitch Black back now, oof, that's awful. Like, it does not stand up. It does. It really doesn't. The effects are awful. What people do are just ridiculous. It's not good. Really not good. I recommend your Dread 2000 AD playlist. The people a lot. They're awesome. Yeah, I used to like doing them. They were good. Pitch Black totally stands up. It does not. It doesn't. You want to see that woman getting like cut in half and sort of flown away? It's awful. The effects are truly awful. They're in that time where too much was CG'd, and so they just don't stand up at all. There wasn't any practicality to it. There was no practical effects to it. So it's really, really bad. I implore anyone to go and watch it again, because they're not good. They genuinely don't. Yeah, they don't hold up. They don't hold up at all. Like, I know people will think that they do, but I disagree. So, yeah. I used to like Pitch Black when it came out, but now it looks like a straight-to-TV B movie. Yes. Am I a fan of Tim Burton's Batman? Yeah. Yeah, I think they've all got their place, haven't they? 80s fantasy movies, yay or nay? Yay, definitely. What's the best British movie of all time? No idea. I wouldn't be able to give you a best British movie of all time. I think that's too difficult to really do, to be fair. Riddick was a good film. Yeah, I didn't mind Riddick. What's next for the Monsterverse? Son of Kong, supposedly. Which I think is a really crappy way to go. Yeah, not cool. I think they should have done more. Much more with respect to the Godzilla stuff. They sort of abandoned Godzilla, weirdly enough. So they had him, and then it was all good and worked very, very well, and then just sort of like he was sort of evil, but people sort of viewed him as a bad destructive force. Then it was good, saving the day. Then it was bad. It's like no. Then he was good again, and then he was bad. So he was a destructive force in the first one. Then he was sort of good by the end. Then he was definitely good in King of the Monsters. Then in Godzilla vs Kong, he was portrayed as a bad guy. And they should have focused on that a bit more. I don't think they gave enough time, really, to sort of explore that, which was a bit of a shame. Gonna dip out and go to the grocery store. Peace out, dude. Peace out. Yeah, no, appreciate the comment there, Harlequin. Reddit. Cool. Side note, we will be doing a members only stream today as well, just as an aside. So after these streams are done, we do a members only stream, just as an FYI. If you want to be a part of all of that stuff, just sign up to the membership. It's only 99 pence. 99 pence a month, you can support the channel and support what I do here. See, Kramer. Yeah, I've literally time delay. I've just answered your question. Yeah, literally just answered your question as you said that. That's funny. Well, would have with the time delay. So yeah, that's funny as hell. The Mighty One says, I've just heard of a film called The Mortuary Collector that's supposedly akin to Creepshow and Twilight Zone. Still need to check it out. Heard good things. Oh, interesting. Yeah, never heard of that. Have to check that out. Godzilla was more pissed than bad in Godzilla vs. Kong. I agree, but they made him out to be a bad guy, so yeah. Scott Hempel, I miss your old Prometheus videos. Yeah, but there's I can't. What can I do? Like, there's only so much you can explore a movie. There is only so much you can explore a movie, dude. Unfortunately. But I'm glad you liked him. Yeah. If you like that stuff, then you'd like the audiobooks that I do, because basically the same kind of stuff. So check them out. But yeah, the Prometheus and Alien Covenant videos were good fun. I enjoyed all of them. Really enjoyed all of them. But again, like, there is only so much you can sort of explore a movie universe with. Yeah, there wasn't that much else to discuss. The thing is, when they stop bringing out new content, where do you go? You can't do. Yeah, you just stop. Like, there's only so much you can do, right? With a new TV series, there's stuff which will happen. There can be... Again, it's like with Hellraiser, people are like, where's the lore videos? It's like, well, fucking... Like, Hellraiser's not a massive franchise. I've done basically everything with Hellraiser. But with respect to things moving forwards, there's a Hellraiser TV series, a Hellraiser movie. Could you do lore videos about that? Yeah, absolutely. Same with the Alien TV series. You definitely do stuff with respect to that. 100%. Muqtadir Ali says, have I written any scripts, and are there any films in the works? I wrote all the scripts to my films, so yeah, I've written scripts. Richard Curtis says, we got 2 members, so Napalm Sanctuary and Chloe Venus. Thank you so much. Richard Curtis says, Shaun of the Dead with Nail and I. The Life of Brian Holy Grail. Yeah, okay, so you're listing good British movies. Yeah, no, true. They are. Yeah, no, I agree. They're very good movies. Yeah, I agree. Shaun of the Dead's a great one. With Nail and I. Never heard of that, actually. The Life of Brian Holy Grail. Yes. What was the other one from Monty Python? The Life of Brian, Holy Grail. What was the other one? They made... there was another key big one. There's 3 key big ones from them, wasn't there? What was it? Holy Grail. Oh, The Meaning of Life. That's the one. I like that one. The ending of that one's great. Mike Hunt says, Mike Tyson in his prime versus Ali in his prime. Choose Mike Tyson. I don't think there's anyone that sort of holds up to Mike Tyson. I think that's yeah. No, I think it would always be Mike Tyson. I could be wrong, but I genuinely think Mike Tyson. And loads of people are like, the meaning of life, the meaning of life. Yeah, and I got it. Yeah, those are the three big ones, wasn't it? Holy Grail, Meaning of Life, Life of Brian. They made like other movies, of course, but those were like the three big ones. Fantastic films, absolutely fantastic films. Yeah, I wouldn't. You're asking my opinion on boxing. I'm not familiar with boxing, so I bow out to other people's opinions. I don't care. It's fine. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Fuck me. So good. So good. So good. Love it. Absolutely love it. Larry Quartwit says the scene where the guy talks about getting brown M&Ms for Ozzy in Wayne's World is from With Nail and I. It was the same actor. Oh, okay. Alright, yeah. I'll have to check that out then, won't I? So many games reference Holy Grail and it's wonderful. Yes. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. No, I've never done Krav Maga? No. Krav Maga? Is that what it is? No, I've never done that. Interesting though, interesting stuff. Ladies and gents, we're going to tune out now. Please do give the video a like. Please do share it. If you want to join the members only stream, join the members only. Be a member basically for 99 pence a month. It's very cheap. It's less than the price of a coffee. So there'll be a members only stream posted to the community tab. Just stay tuned for that. Will be momentarily. But thanks so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Cheers guys. Take care.